What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with more A Flock of Seagulls. So we continue our journey through their 1982 self-titled album. Not only you and I, but also Luca over here, who now has her own chair. But yeah, bottom line, this has been a cool journey. As I mentioned when I started with A Flock of Seagulls, pretty much the only tune I knew was I Ran So Far Away. So this has been an enjoyable journey. In a way, you know, the other songs have sounded kind of like what I thought, but a bit darker maybe, a bit grittier with the synth pop sound. So I do very much like the sonic territory that it sounds like they were working with, at least on this album, and we'll see going forward. But yeah, we're up to the next tune of the album, which is called, what is it, Standing in the Doorway, which is an interesting metaphor, right, or like a visual depiction, in the sense that doorways are thresholds. They are portals through which a new and different arena or space exists. Now, whether that's a doorway to the inside, or whether that's a doorway to a different part of a building, or whether that's a metaphorical doorway to a new phase of your life, or as a metaphor for a decision that, you know, to go through a door, one must choose to open it and cross over the threshold. So doors can be metaphors in a number of different ways, but it is also fair to say that, you know, like borders, doors separate things, but they also connect them. So in a way, it's like, yeah, it's the threshold past which it's a different existence or experience on the other side, but at the same time, it's points of connection. There are points where different types of existence, different types of people and places and things come together, and in those places you do find acculturation, you do find cultural adaptation, you find a blending, a hybridization of different elements, and ultimately the creation of something new that is not either the one thing or the other, but something else entirely. So yeah, again, doors separate things, but they also connect them, and they also serve as thresholds, either literally or metaphorically. So we'll have to see exactly how, or if in any way those ideas are relevant, but let's get to it. This is A Flock of Seagulls, and the tune is Standing in the Doorway, which I suppose, stating? Is it stating? Did I write it wrong? Hold on, fucking hell. I'm very confused now, because it says stating, but I think maybe I just wrote that wrong? Let's find out, folks, in real time. So, yeah, it's standing in the doorway. Okay, so I just like wrote it down wrong, or maybe it was in the Han Solo's folder wrong. Believe me, Han Solo, I'm not trying to blame you, but bottom line, I'm not sure why it said that. But now, knowing that it is correctly standing in the doorway, I suppose it is fair to say, like, there's an extra layer there, right? The idea that you've not yet chosen, you're sort of lingering on that decision or on that threshold, and you're not necessarily committing. You're standing right on the decision or the threshold, and you haven't yet pulled back or stepped through. So I suppose, more than I was thinking initially, there's a hesitance in the title. There's a lack of conviction that one or the other choice would be more prominent or more desirable. So yeah, now I'm thinking there might be a sort of tension or anxiety in the tune because of a lack of certainty as to what the best move should be. But yeah, let's get to it. This is Standing, not Stating, Standing in the Doorway by A Flock of Seagulls. Like a nighttime, not R&B, but it has this kind of like soul sort of nighttime vibe. Also some more alien sounds. Really textured. Hallucinatory. Like smooth nighttime vibes, but there are all these noises and like extraterrestrial lasers and tractor beams. What the Flock. Okay. Tune's an instant favorite just for doing that. I had no idea 1 minute ago we'd be here.
I can see you standing outside. See a shadow on the wall from the street light. It's kind of when you go to stuck to my brain. I turn around, cover eyes, I see you. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway, I can see you.
I love this.
Standing in the doorway.
But it's another person who's doing it, right? I can see you outside, and then you said standing in the doorway.
I can see you walking behind. See your face silhouetted to my half light. I can't find you when it's stuck to my brain. I turn around, cover eyes, I see you. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway, I can see you. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway, I can see you.
Again, faster, edgier than I would have ever expected with my very limited exposure to this group before doing this deep dive.
Feel your presence inside.
It's very like
Chill like the point of a sharp knife. Something on your road is stuck to my brain. I turn around, cover eyes, I see you. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway, I can see you.
it's just a great riff.
Standing in the doorway.
That main
Standing in the
expression.
doorway. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway. Standing in the doorway. Standing
The cacophony. Eventually there might be tension or anxiety. Good lord. I love it. It's brilliant. Number one, like, I did not know it was going to explode a couple minutes in. Number two, I love the main sort of the main sound of the second part of the tune, as well as the kind of like harder like response to that like first part. So yeah, a lot of cool things going on. Sonically, I'm not sure. It does sound like he's talking to another person, but then there was like, you know, his eyes were closed and he was turning around and they were still in the doorway. So it does sound like maybe there's a lack of, you know, commitment on the part of the person in the doorway to either change things one way or to leave them as they are. But I love it. I love it. It had a really edgy, kind of dark, gritty sound. It was fast. Just a really cool tune. There was a moment where I was feeling like, man, like, I'm not quite sure what he's saying. Maybe, you know, if I learn this over successive listens, it won't be quite as dark. But there was a moment where I felt like it was as if like a Flock of Seagulls and the like soft cell sound were like right on the edges of each other. It felt kind of wicked and like fast and aggressive, like some of the soft cell tunes that I've heard so far. So yeah, but like, if it's not clear, I'm very much enjoying that deep dive. So that is very much a compliment that in that moment it felt like that. So yeah, bottom line, a cool tune. Got to listen to it some more. Do let me know if you have an angle on the lyrics. But yeah, next time we come back, what tune will we be up to? The next time we come back, we will be up to Don't Ask Me. So it's a pretty funny declaration. But yeah, we'll have to see what that one's about next time. Do let me know what you think of the album. the song or the album. I meant the song, but you can tell me what you think of the album as well. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.